This is James Possible, and welcome to How to Trade Forex. In this bonus video, I'm going to be talking about price candles and what you need to know. And this is part one. It's going to be 2 to 3 parts to this particular series. And first, I'm just going to quickly go through some of the legalese and copyrights, and just a reminder that this How to Trade Forex series is for educational purposes, and in no way am I intending to make any kind of recommendation to buy, sell, or trade any kind of assets. All of the content contained within this video is copyrighted by me, James Possible. All rights are reserved in all media, and no parts of this video may be used without the express written consent of me, James Possible. Shout out to Ben Sound for the music in the background. Great stuff. Alright, let's get started. All price candles are not created equal. So I have what looks like 3 similar candles, right? In shape they are the same, in size they are the same. And this is just the outline at this point. Even with them looking the same in size and height and all of that, their tops and bottoms, this does not mean that these candles have the same meaning. And this is a really big point for a lot of traders who are struggling with being profitable. I'm going to change the colors. Green, green, green. But it doesn't mean that what has happened to get them to that place, that this point in time, is the same for all 3 candles. How can they be different? Well, that's what I want to get to. I mentioned the colors. Colors obviously are an easy way to see one difference, and really it is one difference. So green, price is rising. Red, price is dropping. You could possibly have a different setup on your chart and be using black and white candles. Typically the white is where it's going up in value, and the black candles are where it's dropping in value. And there are many different configurations in MetaTrader 4 and other charting applications. So don't get too caught up in this. These are the basic colors that I use in my charts. And so let's talk more about how they can be different. And so beyond the color, each candle, even though they look the same, can actually represent a different time frame. Each candlestick, price candle, is a summary, if you will, of all the price movement that has happened within that certain point, that certain period of time. So if the candle represented 15 minutes, it would be a summary of the last 15 minutes. If it represented an hour, it would be a summary of the last hour's worth of activity. They have daily candles, weekly candles, monthly candles, 1-minute candles. Time can definitely be a big thing. So let's say the middle candle, candle number 2, is an H1 candle. So what does that mean, H1 candle? Well, the H refers to the unit of measure. So in this case, the H is an hour. So it's a 1-hour candle. And the 1 represents the number of units being measured. So if this has been H2, it would have been a 2-hour candle, H3, 3-hour candle, H4, 4-hour candle, okay, and on and on. So keep in mind that that candle actually represents everything that's happened in that 1 hour segment of time, okay, or 4 hour segment in time, just depending on what you're looking at. Now we're going to be talking about primarily the H1 candles and M5 candles, and so let's quickly talk about what an M5 candle is. M, again, is the unit of measure. In this case, it's a minute. 5, once again, is the number of units. So in this example, we have M5, which equals 5 minutes. Or, as I shared earlier, if you see M1, that would be a minute candle, and it'd be 1 unit. So it'd be a 1 minute candle. Let's dig in a little deeper on this H1 candle. Let's talk about what it represents, what you're not seeing, right? So an H1 candle, 1 hour, represents 4 M15 candles. M15 candles are 15-minute candles. An H1 price candle equals 12 M5 candles, and this is what we're going to be talking about here shortly, are the 12 M5 candles. Now if we take it down further, of course every hour has 60 minutes in it, so an H1 candle would represent 60 M1 candles. And in MT4 by default you have the M1, the M5, the M15, and also the M30, which is a 30-minute candle, which an H1 candle would, of course, equal 2 M30 candles. So let's do some comparing here, the H1 and the M5 candles. Let's see what we really don't see when we're looking at the H1, what's happening underneath it. So we're taking that number 2 candle, because that was the H1, and let's step through 12 M5 candles. The first 5 minutes of the 1 hour candle starts, and there it is. So that's the first M5 candle. The second M5 candle happens. So now we're 10 minutes into the 1 hour candle. 15 minutes into the candle, and you can see how the candle's moving up and down. The H1 candle is. So you can see the H1 candle is starting to develop as we're moving through the M5 candles. Now here's the most important part of that is we were looking at those M5 candles, the movement of the M5 candles on the H1 time frame, on the H1 candle. So we really don't see what the M5 candles look like, and that's what I want to talk about next. So 12 M5 candles equals 1 H1 candle. So let's look at it on a chart. Let's look at that same movement on the M5, but let's look at it on the chart and see what it looks like. So there was the first M5 candle. There's the second M5 candle. Looks a little bit different, right? The third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7th, 8th, 9, 10, 11, 12. And there we are. That's the 12 M5 candles that I just showed you in the first example. But let's go further with this. And now let's do some comparing to it. Let's show you both M5 and the H1. So that first candle on the H1 also represents, they're the same candle in that first 5 minutes. But after that is where they start to change. You can see the candle on the left is the M5 candle, the candle on the right is the H1 candle. And so remember, the H1 is a summary of what's happening on the M5. in this particular example anyways. So again, you can see the M5's changing, and you can see how the H1 candle is growing in size to represent the last 5 candles on the M5 chart. This is interesting because on the M5 we actually had a candle drop in price, right? So you can see how it changes the H1 candle. So I'm going to just step back. So that's where we were. Then we moved into this red candle, and it really changed the shape of the H1 candle. Now its price is going back up, up, pushing up again, still pushing up, still pushing up, and one more candle, and boom, it came down on that 12th candle, the final candle in that 1 hour time period. And so that's how we end up with the H1 candle that we have. Now I'm going to show them to you side by side and just watch how the H1 candle changes. I'm just going to tick through it, and you can see how it changes form and size. And there you have it. Let's do this one more time. And there you have it. Again, the H1 is always going to be a summary of what's happened in the smaller time frames. Okay, so this is our first example of how the M5 chart might look to produce the H1 candle that we have in this example. Keep in mind that there's an infinite number of ways that the M5 candles could actually play out or move to create the very same H1 candle. In the next video, we're going to go a little deeper into this. I'm going to show you some more variations. Then I'm going to talk about different time frames. I'm going to take you from not just the M5 but the M1, the M15, so you can have a really good sense when you're looking at the different time frames. If you'd like to find out more about me, get to know me more, just go to jamespossible.com and scroll down to the bottom, and you'll find 2 links. Each link represents one of the 2 Facebook groups that I have. They're public groups, they're free to join, and one is the Winning Forex Habits. It's a hodgepodge of Forex how-to information, just to keep you focused on what matters most as a Forex trader, and that's profit. If you're not a profitable trader, then you're really not trading. You're just losing money, and there's no point. You don't have to do it that way. Also, the My Forex Yoda Facebook group, you can join that, and the intention there is a daily Forex trading quote or piece of trading wisdom on a daily basis. And that's the 2 groups that you can just join for free and get to know me more. Of course, you can subscribe, and thank you for being here. Again, this is James Possible. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.